nowhere after sunset and says, "Hey, will you take me hunting tomorrow? And also, can I stay the night?" And the Afghan says, "No problem, stay 10 days. It really is a blessing to be part of it. Sometimes I have to pinch myself over the surreal nature of what I'm doing. That night, I sit with a room full of Afghan men out in the middle of nowhere, drinking tea, talking, and watching Indian soap operas until it's time to go to bed. And we go to bed early, because tomorrow we've got a 3 a.m. start. But the next morning, our plan for a quick getaway is thwarted by my stupid choice of footwear.
Perfect. So we are finally, after all this time, after all this travel, coming all the way from Kabul, we're gonna go see a snow leopard.
I've already decided that this expedition is my last attempt at finding the snow leopard. I know how rare it is for foreigners to see it. There are some snow leopard researchers who still haven't seen it after 10 or 20 years of trying. So if it doesn't happen today, then it's not going to happen, and I'm leaving.
چی می‌بینیم؟ استاد؟ پلنگ است؟
نیست.
نیست؟
پلنگ نیست.
I heard that the snow leopard makes a funny sound, not like lions or tigers or other things. Makes a funny sound when it growls.
راست میکند همین زمین جنبش میکنه که زخمی میشه سرنش رفتن نمیشه همین که میرم اما راست میکند دیگه میگوی که همین زمین میجنبد بس شاید کواد چی داره
Muhammad started hunting when he was 16 years old. It's fascinating to watch him at work. I want to find out more about his feelings on the snow leopard.
Some white people, they spend 10, 20 years looking for the snow leopard because they think it's so beautiful and they never see it in 10, 20 years. But you have seen many. How do you feel about the snow leopard?
چیزی ظالم است که به خاطر اینمی آووز به خاطر اینمی بزرگستان دیگه در قیره است نه اما سالش که بسیار کلان شد دو پیشیدن نمیتونه.
If the snow leopard did not kill your animals, would you still hunt it?
نه میره باز در دیگه جا اگر اونجا شکار شد نشده که باز حرکت میکنه باز در دیگه جا.
How do you feel about the people who hunt the snow leopard just for the skin, just to kill the leopard and get the money for the skin?
دیگه باز اون یک چیزی ظالم است دیگه که اینولی بختان هم میکنه.
اینولی همی گرگ میزند دمال 10 تا 15 تا یکی میخره به خبر نشه. خور نزنی خود سگ نگیردش مشکل است دیگه یک چیزی ظالم.
Muhammad also tells me that he wouldn't eat the meat of a snow leopard either because it's against Islam. So what's becoming clearer to me is that while I started my search for the snow leopard thinking I was going to meet evil poachers and hunters, many of these supposed assassins are actually farmers protecting their livestock. And then suddenly, Muhammad thinks he sees a snow leopard and the hunt is on. But it's a false alarm, and I think that that's as close as I'm going to get to seeing a snow leopard. I've done my best on this trip, but I've got a plane to catch out of the capital in 48 hours, and so for now, it's over to part 2 of my quest. Over in another province called Balkh, I'm planning to track down the nomads of Afghanistan, and finding them will hopefully be a little more attainable than the snow leopard. As I've traveled around Afghanistan, I've noticed these distinctive people walking along the side of the road with their animals.
Peaceful.
They're known as the Koochies, the nomads of Afghanistan. I've learned that each year they make long treks from one part of the country to the other to take their animals to better pasture. I want to walk with them across the desert from Balkh to Faryab to get an insight into a culture that has rarely been seen. There's just one problem. My security advisors in Kabul are refusing to give me permission to go.
They're saying that we can't go out of the cities, that it's too dangerous to sleep in the districts, that there's Taliban and there's criminals and somebody's going to get murdered and they can't support us on this.
So what do you want to do?
I'm angry and frustrated because I've been planning this trip for a long time and I don't want to pull out now that I'm so close.
I guess we're just going to have to do it on our own.
But there is another problem, actually finding the Koochies. Because they're nomadic, most Koochies have historically not owned land, so they're always on the move and it's not easy to track them down. They don't mix with outsiders and vice versa. And so despite visits to the sub-governor and the district chief of police, I'm finding it almost impossible to actually track down any Koochies, and I know I'm running out of time before they all leave. And then one day when my motorbike breaks down and I'm forced to start taking taxis, I get my big break. I meet a taxi driver who knows some Koochies that are living on the outskirts of town, and they have not left on their trek across the desert. I'm finally going to meet some Koochies, and I'm really excited.
Salam, Amin, khosh bakhtun.
This is Gusuddin, head of one of the few Koochi families in the area who have not yet left on their trek across the desert. He asked me to explain why I've come to see them.
The reason that I'm here is because, you know, there are not many nomads or Koochi nomads left around the world. And that's why I want to come along with you on your travels on this trip to find out from the inside how you live and what you do. So I guess the question is, can I come with you?
Here we go, the moment of truth. I'm expecting opposition. I'm really going to have to fight for my place. Hang on.
Okay, tashakkur, thank you.
Oh, it's that easy. I'm in.
What problems are there out there? What problems will we face out there? Okay, I think I can do that.
And with my ticket to ride, I get my first meal as part of a Koochi family, a yogurt drink called dog, and a traditional Koochi flatbread. Tomorrow, the journey begins.
Khubas, that's really nice.
But I'm under no illusion as to what my biggest threat will be: security. Once I'm out there, in the open spaces of the desert, I'm easy prey for any kidnappers or Taliban who hear about my movements. From this moment on, my life comes under the protection of this small family of Koochis, and I have to hope that that's enough. The next morning, I'm back out with the Koochis, excited about the journey ahead.
Salam, khubastin. Salam.
The Koochi women will be going separately to us. I've been told that normally the Koochis are a lot more liberal about women than the rest of the country, but obviously not in this case. Now it's time for some last-minute preparations.
You need some? زیاد است. سر من زیاد است.
کلان دیگ.
آها.
And finally, we're off. off across the desert on our trek to Faryab. Only 10 days and more than 300 kilometers to go.